Hi, I'm Galit Zamler, and I'm going to talk to you about the process of entrepreneurship education within the school framework. All what I explained now is based on my experience as the founder of the Entrepreneurship for Kids program, which has been taught in dozens of Israeli schools and also abroad in the United States, China, India, Vietnam, and more. So first, I'll show you that in the entrepreneurship education, we actually want to equip the students with first knowledge from the entrepreneurial arena, like what skills they need, what is the path that entrepreneurs go through, and like a business plan, research, and everything else that will help them be entrepreneurs. And not just knowledge, but also practice. Because if you just learn without practical, it won't help us. We won't feel confident that we can be entrepreneurs. And along with this, we also, as mentors, we find the students' strength and we encourage them that they have the ability to do what they think they are interested in because of this strength that will help them find out in them. And we motivate them to keep going. And when we do all this, give them knowledge, they practice, and we serve as their mentors, and we together find their strength, they have the sense that they can be entrepreneurs, they can choose whatever path they want in their life. It gives them the confidence. And that's what we want them to feel like at the end of this process. So how we start? At the beginning of the entrepreneurship education, we start with exposing them to different kind of ventures, like innovative projects, which usually involves technological ventures, social ventures that aims to do good to the community, and they are not necessarily be innovative. Social business ventures, which also aims to do good to the community, but they have a business model and they can stand by themselves. They don't necessarily need donations. And we talk about business ventures, which we need to progress and make all the ecosystem of keep going on. And traditional ventures. I also talk about traditional ventures when we talk about entrepreneurship education, because first, not all of us can come up with innovative ideas. Some of us will have, you can call it a business, just business, another business. But why we connect it to the entrepreneurship? Because once you find something unique in your business, something that differentiates your business from others, you can make people want to come to you over others, over all other competitors. And that's how, if you find your unique value proposition, and this will make you like you are thinking as entrepreneur. And we see examples of men entrepreneurs and women entrepreneurs. I don't know how it's in your country, but in Israel, there are much more men entrepreneurs rather than women. And I want them to feel comfortable to choose this path. And when we start teaching entrepreneurship education in school, where there are girls and boys the same, and they feel comfortable about it. And we also see examples of children ventures. And when they see all this, they feel, okay, if they can, I can. That's the idea of just at the beginning, without coming up with what is an entrepreneur, how to come up with idea. We don't ask them at the beginning to come up with ideas. We just want to make them feel comfortable and know what entrepreneurship is. Basically, entrepreneurship, as we learn, is about being aware of the surrounding, ask questions, research. If you find something that interests you, go and research. You ask questions, don't leave them like this. Go and find answers. It's like Newton and the apple, that the apple fell down, and it didn't just move on. He asked himself, why does the apple fall down and not go up or to the side? And from this question and research, we know that he found a lot about the gravity. And entrepreneurship, it's also about, as we said, practical. It's about experience. We try, we implement our ideas, and we may fail. And it's okay to fail. As long as you come learn from it and take responsibility for acts that you do, it's actually not failure, it's an experience. We know that investors are much more likely to invest in entrepreneurs who have experience, also if they have failed, but if they gained conclusions from this failure. And maybe the most important is imagination. Once we can imagine new reality, something different, how change can be in any topic that we think of, this is the start of entrepreneurship. Without it, we can't see how things can be different, and why would we start? So then, during this process, when we see examples of different kinds of ventures, the students usually start coming up with ideas. And we collect these ideas. You can do it as you want. In some schools, they just wrote the ideas on notes and put it on box. In others, they wrote it in such blank papers and they put it on the wall. In other, it was on notebook. I prefer to do it on a presentation, and from lesson to lesson, I add more ideas that the students raise. It can be in such a basket. And the students learn first that there is something common to all ventures that we looked at, is that the entrepreneurs were aware to their surroundings. They recognize something that interested them, ask questions, so that there is a need, and from this they started their venture. So we learned that basically there are two options for starting an entrepreneurship. First option is that we have an idea. It may happen that we have an idea and we usually think that we have a great idea. And what we'll do next is that we will check if this idea is already exists or doesn't exist. And maybe it exists, but it can be improved. So if we are in this, that it doesn't exist or can be improved, what will be our next stage? When I ask usually the students this question, they usually say, okay, we will realize it. But there's something else that we should do before it. We should go to the market, to our those we think are our target audience, and watch and ask if there is a need or a desire for such an idea. Because maybe we think it's a great idea, but others don't think so, or they don't need it. And I'm talking not just about a need, but also a desire, because let's say that there is a new perfume in the market, and actually no one needs it because there are many, but we want it. So it's a desire. So a desire is also something that we can realize. And then the second way is that we recognize a problem, a need in the market, and we find out that there is no good solution. And if there's no good solution, maybe we will start thinking of such an idea and that meets these needs, the need. So this is the two options, and then the students come up with ideas, and we must let them understand that there is no crazy idea. All ideas are okay, and because things that we use today and looks normal to us are may consider at the beginning as crazy ideas. And I put here on purpose this idea of a pencil that does homework, because I know schools are not supposed to like this idea. But when students come with such an idea, and it happened in more than one school, I say, okay, this is interesting. Let's see how we can, if such an idea can be implemented. And of course, we found there is no technical issues. This can be, but who will buy it? And what people will think about those who use this? And if they think such thoughts, will people, other people will want to buy it? Actually, students. And most of the time they understand that it probably won't be a success venture, and they decided to leave it. So when the students have an idea, what we do in the next stage is that each one of them stands in front of the class and present his idea, because what seems clear in our mind doesn't necessarily clear to our classmates. This helps them in standing in front of audience, and also in community and conveying message. And before they explain their idea, we make sure that the classmates understand. Like here, you see the student is in the 3rd grade, explain his idea. Before this, we make sure that the students understand that we are a supportive environment and not the oppressive one. So we won't just say, oh, your idea is very bad, your idea, and no one needs it, or things like this. We will be a supportive environment. It doesn't necessarily mean that we think your idea is great. All the ideas are great, but it means that we are gonna ask questions that will ask for clarifying the things that we see as issues in the idea, like who is your target audience? Or if we think that this idea is going to cost a lot of money, which you don't have, do you know how much it's going to cost? And things like this. And the one who presents his idea doesn't answer the questions, but we will write all the questions on a paper and give it to the students, and the student will come back in the next session with answers. This way, it let them think about their ideas and not arguing with the classmates, no ego issues. And here is an example of the idea microwave that has a door as a TV screen, and the students ask the young girl questions, and in the next session, she came with answers. And actually, we found that Whirlpool has such a microwave, but we asked who has this such a microwave, and no one of us has it. So we came to the conclusion that maybe this is, maybe it wasn't marketed well, or maybe people don't really want it. Okay, need, we don't really need, want. So this is something that should be checked. Then the students, according to their age, because we teach entrepreneurship from very young age, to the 12th graders and in the universities as well, they will check whether the idea exists or doesn't exist, and if it already there in the market, can we upgrade it? Can we make it different? Can we make it better? And everything that can do it different. With added value, of course. And by the questions of the classmates and by checking over the internet, they actually screen the ideas, and we will be left in only few ideas. So you can see here example of a presentation that I did in one of the groups. They came up with ideas, and after getting the questions and searching over the internet, they decided to drop some of the ideas, and we were left in only with few ideas. And to continue, what we do is that the students form teams, same as mature entrepreneurs form teams, based on their friendship or based on their connection, how they feel connected to the idea. And they refine the idea together and present it to the classmate again. We insist that they will work during entrepreneurship, the entrepreneurship process as a team, because when you work as a team, you learn a lot. You learn how to convince, you learn how to negotiate, you learn how to work, to allocate all the tasks, and many other things that raise when we work as a team. Then they make up a business plan. The business plan that they write is according to their knowledge, according to their age. You see here many sections of the business plan, but we have 3 versions. One is very light for the beginners, and something else that is a little bit more comprehensive, and the full business plan that they do in the upper graders. They learn that the business plan helps them to be more to look at their idea in a more objective perspective. Following the business plan, they decide what we call go or no go. And what happened is that we have actually maximum development of the ideas. Sometimes it will end in a survey. Maybe after this survey, they understand no need to move forward with the idea. Sometimes it ends with a model. It can be on the computer, it may be from craft materials, whatever they want. And sometimes it ends with a real product that they may also sell. This is something they really like, okay? And they produce real products of their idea. I'll show you this. This is an example of a lollipop that students came up in one class. I don't know how it's in your country, but in Israel, it's very difficult to open the lollipops. So they decided that there will be a scotch, and with it, it will be easier to open and close the lollipop. So what we did, we took all the class, and the team of the idea presented the idea to the managers in a candy manufacturer in Israel, but all their classmates joined them to this visit. And look at them; they are well dressed. They practiced a lot before they came to this meeting, and they were very excited. And it gave them the sense that they can, okay? Because presenting in front of managers of a big manufacturer is something very empowering. We also invite parents to come at the end of the year, listen to the students and their ideas. We make sure that they are a supportive environment. We explain why it is so important to be a supportive environment. And then if we have ideas that we couldn't help the students implement because we don't know, we are not supposed to know everything, we share with the parents that we think it's a great idea, but we don't know how to help them. Maybe you can help. And in those meetings, there are so many exciting things happen because parents really want to help the students that stand there, and they come up with ideas that encourage them and make them believe in themselves. Another maximum experience is that this is a T-shirt of the students. He thought about it because he saw a movie, Back to the Future, where the hero push a button and then his clothes make wide and he can get out and wear it again. And he decided to produce such a shirt and save money for his parents when he can move this T-shirt to his young sister or someone else. And it also can grow with him, so no need to buy more and more shirts. He did this first sketch, and then we took all the class to a dress designer who explained about how you produce clothes, and he presented his idea to her, and you see all his classmates are there. And then we find another dress designer who helped him shape the drawings, and they did this T-shirt. They went here. He formed a team with two other girls, and they went and asked the teachers, would they buy such a T-shirt? And here they met the school principal and explained her about it, and make a survey among the students in the school. At the end of this process, we usually sit down, each team separately, and they talk about lessons they have learned, conclusions, and something that most of the time raises is that I did more than you, you almost didn't do anything, and things like this, and it's okay because they learn from it. And one last thing is how many ventures to implement. So it depends, because we as their mentors, we have limited time and resources, and we share it with them, and we say, it depends on your ideas. We will see what your ideas will be, and according to that, we will see how many ideas we can accompany you and help you implement. And if you don't need our help, it's up to you. That's it. So now it's your turn. Aya Leville.
Fantastic, fantastic. It's really very interesting how you're able to do these projects and encourage the kids to really engage in it. That's something that we also want to be able to try as well.
Thank you. Thank you.